All right. What's good, y'all? Soul here, and welcome back to my story mode. So, yet again, we have another edition of Soul Ramble mode, and today we are obviously going to be talking about multiverses. And the problem with this is that I have recorded this video like 4 different times. A month ago, I talked about, being interested in giving up on multiverses and deleting multiverses once Rival 2 came out. And then, recently with the most recent update and character announcements with Raven and Marcy being introduced as characters, I was like, okay, you know what? Both of these are characters that I'm actually interested in. Marcy literally being the character that I have been wanting since day one to be in this game. We're finally getting her this season. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot, right? And when I recorded the video that I was going to put up this week in regards to multiverses, I was talking about giving it another chance, but that was before I played multiverses again. However, as you could see from the title and thumbnail, I am still actively giving the game another chance because I have fallen into a familiar loop in which I am getting on at least once a day or every other day, grinding out my battle pass and I guess character road experience now so that I can unlock Raven without having to pay the $10, which when you really think about it is kind of unnecessary when you could actually rack up that experience pretty damn fast. Like if I just played for another solid like 2 hours or something like that, not even probably less than that, I could easily unlock Raven, no problem, right? And that's just it. I have been actively playing this game a bit more. As a matter of fact, the gameplay that you're seeing on your screen right now is likely gameplay from my other channel, Soul Battle Mode, in which I am going to be doing a lot of gameplay related videos, mostly in fighting games. So right now it's Multiverses, it's Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and I have also picked up a bit of Rivals of Aether 2. So I'm going to be playing those games consistently for the next couple of months until Bleach comes out, and yada yada yada. Sorry, I had to shameless plug, I know, but I wanted to, just kind of address my activity with this game because I have been playing quite a bit. And, there was a point in time where I was very much ready to drop Multiverses. I was just so whatever about it after a little while. It got very repetitive trying to grind out the battle pass and things like that with the minimal amount of experience that you would get from, specific events and things like that. I would end up waiting for the weeklies to reset every week, do those weeklies, and then not turn it on for another full week or anything like that, right? And then it was just kind of a very, again, it was a very repetitive situation. And then eventually, I just got really fed up with it. And then I ended up picking up Smash again for a week or so. I ended up playing with a couple of friends. They wanted to play it some more. And I'm like, sure, why not? I haven't played it in a minute. And we got real active on Smash for a minute. And then I picked Multiverses back up and realized, wow, this game runs like dog water. I hate this game. Oh my God. Can't believe it took me so long to realize this, right? And the thing is, it was okay when we first got the beta back in 2022. It was okay. It ran fine. It was definitely weird and strange, but it was fast paced. It was very different. It was very fun. It was very I don't want to say unique per se, but it was kind of getting there, The only problem that most of us had with the original Multiverses is that we were paying out the ass to get these characters and things like that, and, all of these cosmetics cost a lot of money, only for us to not have any events or anything to do with that stuff. Like, this was supposed to be a very active, game with multiple seasons back to back to back to back, and we got like not even 1 or 2 seasons. And then they just took the game off market completely because they're like, all right, beta's over. See you in a while. And we're like, okay, great, fine. What the heck, man? So the good thing about all of that is, the money that we did pay and the time that we did spend in Multiverses, it did not go to waste. I still had all of my characters available to me for the most part, except for Rain Dog for whatever reason. I don't know why Rain Dog got locked up. That was super strange. But regardless, I did have access to all of the stuff that I purchased and all of that, so it was all fine and dandy. And then, playing it was very, very different because the game was a lot slower, a lot clunkier. And on one hand, I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt because I kind of understand what they were trying to do, in which, like, they were trying to attempt to slow it down so that they could allow us, the players, to get more out of the battles. We can, battles wouldn't go by in a freaking nutshell, and characters wouldn't be so slippery, and characters actually fit on the screen. They were their proper sizes, and, slowing things down made it so that combos actually worked out a lot better. And Again, I respect what they were doing here. I see the vision. I saw what they were attempting to do, but it just made for a weird situation in which beta version of Multiverses was just so much fun. Like, it was just such a different experience to be able to have that speed, to be able to have that power. Some of the characters were a little more broken than others, but you know what? That was totally fine. And I get that this was their way of trying to balance the game best they could. And I say, like, you know, again, after playing actually for a couple of days, I understand the vision and I can respect what they were trying to do. Now, I'm no tech savvy or anything like that. I personally believe that after getting used to what they changed up here, it's actually not all that bad at all. Again, the gameplay that you're seeing here, that was me playing this was me playing after like 2 hours straight. Like, I was, you know, having a good time just learning a couple of the new characters because, you know, when I dropped off of it for a couple of months there, I never got around to playing as the Powerpuff Girls, and I never got around to playing as Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is a character I didn't even care about, but I was like, you know what? Let me give him a shot anyway. Let me give him the benefit of the doubt. This is a character that they went out of their way to design, even if it was for a quick paycheck. Let's see what he's like. And he's actually not that bad of a character. I wouldn't even go out of my way to main him because I already know for a fact that this character, again, was solely for a paycheck. This is not a character that's going to get any love. You're not going to see him getting consistent skins in the battle pass. We're not going to see him getting any crazy emotes for a time to come. We're not going to be getting any crazy costumes, cosmetics, or anything for him for, you know, time to come. Like, whatever he's got, that's it for him now. And you know, it is what it is. That's just kind of how it happens. Sometimes they're going to get those paycheck characters where they're going to be like, hey, you know, we got to make our $150 because, you know, the player base has certainly dwindled from, you know, 2 years ago, as well as when they first came back. That player base dwindled like crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's still very, you know, it's still relatively active. I was able to find a solid couple of games early in the morning, just this morning, that I was playing at the time of this recording anyway. And, you know, it's still got a pretty fairly active player base. And so I can, you know, I can respect that. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, they still got to get their bag, and I understand. So, but, you know, there are a lot of things that are a little unfortunate about Multiverses. But the biggest thing that's most unfortunate about this game is absolutely its greed factor, right? There are so many things that are hidden behind paywalls, and it is so insanely frustrating how much they cost. Like, there's no way I'm paying $10 full for Raven, or it's either I pay $10 full for Raven and get just that character and that's it a couple of days early, or I can pay $30 to get her and all of the cosmetics that come with her, and, you know, the announcer packs and things like that. Everything is just stupidly expensive in that shop. And it's like, dude, I get wanting to get your bag, but having to pay out the ass like hand and feet for one little cosmetic, I gotta pay $10. I'd have to pay $10 minimum to get any cosmetic or emote or anything that I want. A lot of that stuff isn't even just simply earnable. I literally have to pay so much for it. It's like, bro, like, I just won a couple of costumes for Garnet. I love Garnet. You know, Steven Universe is one of my favorite series of all time. I love Garnet, but you're gonna sit there and tell me that I have to pay like an eyeball and a toenail just so I can get her like training outfit from one episode that I thought was really nice? Like, are you kidding me? I at that point, I'd be better off just buying a full character in Raven. But at that point, like, what's the point of doing that when I can earn Raven? It's like, dude, a lot of this stuff should just be unlockable in some way, shape, or form. And the thing is, right, they do have a shop called the Prestige Shop, and it's I don't know how it works in terms of like rotation, how often we get new stuff in there. I'm assuming it's like new stuff every season, but prestige points, oh my goodness, that is that's grind city right there. But the thing about that is that not all the cosmetics that you want are gonna be in the prestige store. Like, yeah, I could get that cool like outfit for Superman that's in there right now, of him in the I forgot what the name of that Superman cosmetic is, but I could get that super cool outfit for Superman after grinding for hours on end to get 75,000 prestige, by the way. Insane, but okay. All of the cosmetics that you guys have available, you can't continuously swap them out and, you know, make some of these cosmetics a little bit cheaper. And the craziest part is the ones that are in the prestige shop, you can't even buy them normally. That's the stuff they actively make you work for. It's like, dude, what are we doing? What are we doing here? And that is where this game struggles a lot. Like, yes, I do have my qualms with a lot of the gameplay aspects, of course. Like, there should be a lot more, like, badges, not badges per se, what are those called? Perks that we should be able to use online in regular battles. We should be able to get, we should be unlocking more unique perks that we could swap out into, as opposed to, like, the, like, 16 or 24 that we have available to us. We should be able to get and unlock more. I don't think it's all that weird. I feel like, and besides, like, nobody, the weird thing about some of those perks is that nobody even uses a good majority of those perks. From every time I play online, I see people using the exact same couple of perks. It's literally like the hit harder perk, move faster perk, maybe it's the projectile perk if your character that you're playing as isn't a bruiser and actually has projectiles to utilize. And it's like, yo, it's like nobody's even using any of the other perks at that point. There's really nothing much to gain. there's just, it's the same perks for everybody. And it's like, it's a little, I don't know, it's a little boring. Like, you're honestly not even bad off just using the base perks that you get, because those perks benefit the entire roster off rip. But at the same time, if it benefits everybody, it benefits nobody. You know what I'm saying? And of course, there are the unique perks that changes up a character's special and, their individual mechanics and stuff, which that's always nice. But we aren't getting more of those. Like, we've had all of these characters for ages now. We've had LeBron and Harley Quinn and stuff like that for ages. You're telling me you guys couldn't come up with more fun, unique mechanics that could switch up their playstyle just a little bit? We just got to stick with the same 3 or 4 or whatever we have. Like, all right, man. Cool, I guess. And that's where it's just, it's getting weird. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that could be updated about a lot of these characters, and that they won't. And then, as far as cosmetics go, it's just such a greedy thing. And that's not where it stops either. That's not where the greed stops either. See, the thing about the earlier battle passes, before, like, the first, like, 3 or 4 chapters before the one that we're currently on, every battle pass would be the same situation, right? Every season we'd get the same situation. Within the battle pass, it would introduce a new character off rip that you could unlock from the battle pass by buying it, and you can utilize that character throughout your time with that battle pass until they reveal the second new character that would be for that season, right? You would unlock that character off rip with the battle pass, in which case now you're like, okay, cool, I'm actually kind of getting a bang for my buck, because now I'm paying for this battle pass, but I get the character and I get all these things that I can unlock so that I have all of this stuff. I'm actually getting a lot out of the battle pass. Now, with this recent season, it's stupid, because now nobody got Raven from the battle pass. The first level that you unlock now is a Raven cosmetic. And it's like, yo, you're kidding me. So now you're telling me that we have to pay $10 for the battle pass, and if we want the character early, we have to pay another $10? And in the case of Raven, it's crazy, because you would have to pay $10 for the battle pass, or $10 for Raven, or you could pay $20 to get Raven and all of her cosmetics at this point in time and just call it a day. Like, oh, player first. You guys are not living up to your name, man, because this is not a player-friendly situation, bro. And that's the thing. It's just so frustrating that everything is so terribly hidden behind all this just money grubby company, man. It just sucks, man. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a higher ups thing. Maybe it's a Warner Brothers thing, because Warner Brothers has just a massive problem with just not wanting money when they can properly earn the money in a realistic way, but also being as greedy as humanly possible when it comes to wanting all of the money that they can rake out of us from little stuff like Multiversus, our little stupid game with, our favorite characters from our childhoods. They want to rake as much funds as possible out of us, and that is insanely infuriating, and I just can't get behind a practice like that. It's just, oh, it's so frustrating. And yet, I regret to inform that I'm not having a terrible time with the game like I thought I was going to when I initially decided to hop back into this game. The only reason I even decided to start recording gameplay for my second channel for Multiversus is because I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna spend time grinding for Raven so I could just have this character for, you know, future use and things like that, and I'm eventually gonna probably have to grind out Marceline as well, I may as well just go out of my way to, if I'm gonna do that, I may as well record my experience with it and just get as much out of this as humanly possible. Hence why I'm even bothering to play as a character like Beetlejuice for content, because I would never touch this character, and I probably wouldn't really mess with this game anymore if it weren't for the fact that these characters that I actually like are finally coming. Nothing against Samurai Jack or anything like that. I loved that Samurai Jack was a character. I've been looking forward to him as well. He wasn't the character that I was looking for. I feel like Raven is a lot closer to a character that I'm looking for, but I feel like Marceline is going to be the one. Marceline is for sure going to be one of my mains, depending on how she plays. We'll see what happens. Right now, it's still Harley Quinn, but you know, Marceline could absolutely be up there. I'm going to be abusing her every time there's an Adventure Time specific quest in my dailies or my weeklies. I'm gonna be using Marceline. She's gonna be my girl, 1000%. All of this to say, my original plan was, once Rivals of Aether 2 came out, I figured I was done. I was completely finished with Multiversus because Rivals of Aether 2 would give me precisely what I was looking for. However, what I have come to understand is that while it does do a lot of what I'm looking for, the one thing it can't do that Multiversus does is give me characters that I know I've been looking forward to, right? Not to say that I won't be looking forward to more character additions to Rivals of Aether 2 in the future, because I absolutely am. There's a lot of different characters from the original Rivals of Aether that I would love to see in action in this 3D platformer. However, I also would like to see a lot of very specific characters from Cartoon Network history as playable characters in Multiversus. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for my Chowder, my Generator Rex, my Ben Tennyson, you know what I'm saying? My Princess Bubblegum type beat, okay? There's a lot of characters that I'm looking forward to that other games can't give me, and you know, that's the closest feeling I'm gonna get to a Smash-esque feeling, in which, like, there's no denying unfortunately, that the best thing, the coolest thing about Smash was always looking forward to what video game character was going to show up next. Who of your favorite video game characters might have a chance to stand on the battlefield with the big boys, with the greats, you know what I'm saying? And Multiversus is one of the few games that actively has that power over me. That's the only thing about it, is that it's the only game that actively has anything remotely in that field, is characters that I want to see. And that is the only reason why I'm coming back to it now, is because once they announced Marceline, I was like, okay, I gotta lock in, because Marceline is one of my favorite characters in fiction. I adore Marceline as a character, and a chance to play her in a platform fighter like this one. I do wish Multiversus was better in terms of gameplay. I do wish that it was nearly as polished and as fluid and as mechanic heavy as something like Rivals of Aether, you know, because that's the thing about Multiversus that's frustrating in terms of gameplay, is that it is missing so many mechanics. And by so many, I mean shields and grabs, but when you really calculate that, that's a lot of things to be missing, bro. That's a lot, and that can definitely end up frustrating, especially when you go back to a game like Smash or Rivals of Aether 2, where you do have those things, right? But it's so funny, right? Rivals of Aether 2 is much closer to Smash than any other platform fighter I have ever seen. I don't really mess with Brawlhalla like that because it just doesn't feel as good as it could, and that's really unfortunate. But Rivals of Aether 2, it has that twinge, it has that spark that Smash gave us, and that's why I'm loving Rivals of Aether 2, because it's so fluid, it's so polished, and even though it has, you know, shielding and grabbing much like Smash does, it still operates on its own level. It still has its own unique fluidity, it has its own unique mechanics, in which, you know, there's a rock paper scissors mechanic in which you can get out of grabs and shield, and you can get around shields easier and things like that. And there's just so many unique mechanics about it that I just can't help but love it for what it is, right? But again, the only thing that it doesn't have is a cast of characters that I'm already fully familiar with from their own series. And while I am looking forward to that, in Multiversus, you know, it's just missing that very specific heart that, you know, the platform fighters like Smash and Rise of Aether 2 have that could make it so much better. But I don't know. I guess I'll just stick to abusing dodge because that's the only escape method that we have. So I don't know, but I guess that's where I'm at. So either way, I guess I really have much else to say. I'm gonna keep playing this month. I'll probably make another video once Marceline comes out to talk about her and my experiences up to that point. So I guess, you know, this is like a for now type update situation on Multiversus. I'll give you guys another update once I actively have Marceline and have, you know, thoroughly gotten to know the character, and by that time maybe we'll have gotten another couple of updates because they've updated the game a lot to make it play a little bit smoother, and I can definitely appreciate that. But we'll probably get even more updates once Marceline comes out to balance the hell out of the game, so we'll see what happens. But for now, I'm gonna go because I have 2 videos to upload now for side quests, so I'm gonna do that. But before I go, obviously I'm passing the mic over to you guys, and I want you guys to tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below. Are you in agreement that, you know, Multiversus definitely still has a lot of potential and they could still pick it back up, and that they've been doing an okay job of slowly updating it with characters that we enjoy and a lot of different unique mechanics and, you know, events and things like that? Even though it is still on the greedier side, and it's really annoying that it costs so much just to, you know, enjoy the, you know, cosmetics and uniqueness of these characters? Or are you, you know, just on the opposing side and just Multiversus just has always been asked, it will forever be asked, nobody should ever play it ever again, and everybody should keep away and, you know, just go play Rise of Aether 2? Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I am always going to be down there with you guys. But with that, it does appear to be skedaddle o'clock, so I'm gonna go ahead and do just that. I would like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm gonzo. Thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor, taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!